The blood in your head thrums and pounds. That pounding blood obscures who you are. An overwhelming loss of memory. How you ended up amidst these hellish flames is just as hidden. You have nothing in your skull, besides your name and a headache. But you are in danger. The torturer behind this cruel prank will meet your malice when you get out of here. Killing. Now that sounds like your first good idea. You half expected your memories to return once you were free of the Mind Flayer ship. But your past is still an aching void. If you don't find a way to remove the tadpole burrowed in your brain soon, your future will be as blank as your past. Your head whispers vengeance. You cannot wait to slice your way forth, seeking whatever wrought this tragedy upon you. You drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face. As soon as you delve into your mind, it is filled with flashes of 1,000 different dead. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart. As you writhe with sickly dreams, a deep dread floods you. Though you have a tadpole, you know your broken mind is not like the others who bear the worm. A few scraps of the past come back to you now and then, but you can never quite tell where the knowledge comes from. Inexplicable, violent yearnings overwhelm all other thoughts. Who could you possibly be to be their vessel? You recall waking up, hearing the pounding war drum of blood. How cruel your old life must have been. What could have happened to make you forget? As you fall asleep, you are a shivering and shaking mess. Blood, 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 blood.
You look rabid, pained, sick. You're spasming and twitching. You poor thing. The norm is to keep dirty thoughts like that to ourselves, but do carry on. It seems you've been dealt a vile hand. I say, play it. Play it for all it's worth. Nobody should deny themselves their true nature.
This squirrel might be the single most adorable creature you can recall in all your stunted memory. It would be ever so twee if it were climbing a tree.
Surely you should be reserving your foot for more deserving foes. That poor creature was harmless.
You stare at the body before you. You have no idea what just happened. The swirling bile cauldron of your brain is cooking up a poisoned stew.
Something the matter? I understand why you ask, but memory loss is not as uncommon as you'd think. There may be other causes.
Well met. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by illithids, suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree.
How can I help? Memory loss isn't usually a symptom of ceremorphosis. If it is, they've forgotten to write it down in any text I've read on the subject. Then again, our case isn't exactly usual. Perhaps whatever's causing our tadpoles to remain in stasis has also affected your mind. If ceremorphosis takes place, all trace of your former self will be subsumed into the Mind Flayer's hive. So, to still be here, if a mite forgetful, still a win in my book. We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. So long as they remain fantasies.
Soldier? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
It'll come back to you. Maybe you'll recognize something we pass, or maybe we'll find out what happened to you. I get the feeling we've got a long road ahead of...
Copper for your thoughts? I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, and maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together. Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. We've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know?
Speak. Ceremorphosis takes all of you. Mind, body, soul. An ordinary tadpole would eat at your memories until they were lost to the void. But our tadpoles are far from ordinary. I wonder if another factor's in play. Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon. My suggestion, attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or two to carve up.
I'm so glad I found... Wait! I'm Althera, a bard from the Grove. I don't mean any harm. Oh, yes, everything is fine. Thanks to you. That's why I'm here. When I'd heard what you'd done, it inspired me. Made me feel brave again. I want to join you. To fight by your side. I want to help people, as you've helped us. I've been running since El Turel. And when we finally arrived at the Grove, we found danger there too. Unless I hide away from the world, I can't avoid it. So I'd rather face it head on. With you. Really? Just like that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. The more the merrier.
Really? Just like that? All right. But if she reaches for that loot, it's firewood.
Safer to keep her here than blundering around by herself. Wouldn't want her accidentally leading the wrong sort of attention to us.
Just keep it quiet here.
Ease your worries. Warm your hands. We owe you that much.
I won't let you down. I promise. I can't wait to hit the road. Where will we go? Neverwinter? Oh, can we go to Waterdeep? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take it one note at a time, as my teacher would say.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. A single moment comes to you, the flash of abject terror in her eyes, blood spilling from her lips. No time for last words. There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. And your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. Your misdeed is bright and clear as the dawning day.
Kincha, this is some sloppy work.
You're the one who cried out for us. You must have seen something.
Now, I can't help but notice that one of us is positively drenched in blood. So?
You talk. Anyone with half a mind could see that. But why? The work of the parasite, I shouldn't wonder.
The worm in your head has never slept more peacefully. You know in your heart it was something deeper, hungrier.
We can but stand guard against the parasite. I'll be watching.
An uneasy feeling lingers in the air. As the Inquisition departs, you are left alone with a familiar headache. Much is uncertain, but you know one thing for sure. The darkness will strike again, unless you find a light.
Just so you know, I don't judge you for what happened to that bard, Alfira. But the look of guilt on your face was priceless. I don't care, really. But you could have been more subtle about it.
I was no friend to Alfira, but there was no sense in killing her. I'll be watching everyone in this camp like a hawk. Especially you. I'll tell you what I think anyway. I won't miss Alfira, but I won't stand for chaos. Govern your hunger before it governs you.
Alfira wouldn't have harmed a housefly. A gentle young soul slain in her prime.
Go on, then. State your business with me, from a safe distance, if it's all the same to you. I'm sure that will be of small comfort to her.
I thought this camp was supposed to be our safe haven. Not quite so when we wake up to dead tiefling bards. I may have difficulty sleeping for a while. So, you're not in full control of your faculties? If you think it might happen again, warn me. I would hate to have to kill you.
Tonight, you can't chase the thoughts of that poor girl you killed from your head. You wonder what she looked like as she died. Squirming, skewered in abject agony. Your body barely complies. You feel such rushes from your thoughts of the dead woman. Why did she die? The mystery gnaws at your pounding heart.
Me lord, jubilant day! I have found your vile self at last! Sceleritas fell. Your loyal and ever-adoring butler. I followed you, my dear rotted master. We have been parted so tragically long. Oh, one hell of a butler. The most unprincipled servant you could hope for. You have always struggled to conduct yourself properly without me. I found you following the stench of that bard. She reeked across the coast like a piece of dog muck on the road. Such fine work could never be done by a wretch like me. Anyways, I come once again bearing a part of your dreadful inheritance. You earned this iniquitous prize through your great show of exceptional violence the other night. I'm sure Master will be better soon. A fellow of your fine breeding is never down for long. I cannot wait until your next act of shameless barbarity. Though I would love to regale you with your past triumphs, I cannot. I am forbidden to interfere. Our betters will not allow it. Be true to yourself, my lord.